The history of literature is a vast and ever-evolving subject, encompassing the study of written works from around the world and throughout history. Literature can be defined as any written work that tells a story, expresses ideas, or creates a certain effect through the use of language. The earliest examples of literature come from the ancient civilizations of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China. These early works were often religious in nature, and they used myth and legend to explain the natural world and the human condition. As civilizations developed, so did literature. In ancient Greece and Rome, literature became more secular, and it began to explore a wider range of topics, including politics, philosophy, and history. Some of the most famous works of ancient literature include Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, Virgil's Aeneid, and Plutarch's Lives. After the fall of Rome, literature in Europe entered a period of decline. However, it began to revive in the 12th century, and by the 14th century, the Renaissance had ushered in a new era of literary creativity. Some of the most famous works of Renaissance literature include Dante's Divine Comedy, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, and Shakespeare's plays. The 17th and 18th centuries saw the rise of the novel, which became the dominant form of literature in the Western world. Some of the most famous novels of this period include Miguel de Cervantes' Don Quixote, Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, and Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. The 19th century was a time of great literary innovation, as writers experimented with new forms and styles. Some of the most famous works of 19th century literature include Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, and Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. The 20th century saw the rise of modernism, a movement that rejected traditional forms and styles in favor of new and experimental approaches. Some of the most famous works of modernist literature include James Joyce's Ulysses, Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, and T.S. Eliot's The Waste Land. The 21st century has seen the continued evolution of literature, as writers continue to experiment with new forms and styles. Some of the most famous works of 21st century literature include Zadie Smith's White Teeth, Jonathan Franzen's The Corrections, and Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things. The history of literature is a long and complex one, but it is also a fascinating and rewarding one. By studying the history of literature, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and the ways in which literature has been used to communicate ideas, beliefs, and emotions throughout history. In addition to the periods and movements listed above, there are many other important authors and works that have shaped the history of literature. These include 1. Ancient Greece, Homer, Hesiod, Sophocles, Euripides, Aristophanes. 2. Ancient Rome, Virgil, Ovid, Seneca, Petronius. 3. Middle Ages, Dante, Chaucer, Boccaccio, Christine de Pizan. 4. Renaissance, Shakespeare, Cervantes, Montaigne, Machiavelli. 5. Baroque, Milton, Molière, Dryden. 6. Neoclassicism, Pope, Voltaire, Swift. 7. Romanticism, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Byron, Shelley. 8. Realism, Balzac, Flaubert, Tolstoy, Dickens. 9. Impressionism, Flaubert, Zola, James, Conrad. 10. Post-Impressionism, Joyce, Woolf, Eliot, Kafka. 11. Modernism, Pound, Eliot, Joyce, Woolf. 12. Postmodernism, Pynchon, DeLillo, Rushdie, Atwood. This is just a small sampling of the many authors and works that have shaped the history of literature. By studying these works, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and the ways in which literature has been used to communicate ideas, beliefs, and emotions throughout history. The history of literature is a vast and ever-evolving subject, and there is always more to learn. By continuing to study the history of literature, we can continue to gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and the ways in which literature can enrich our lives. 1. The role of literature in society. Literature has played a vital role in society throughout history. 1. It has been used to educate, entertain, inform, and inspire people. 1. Literature has also been used to challenge social norms and to raise awareness of important issues. 2. The impact of literature on culture. Literature has had a profound impact on culture. 2. It has shaped the way we think about the world and the way we interact with each other. 2. Literature has also influenced the development of art, music, and film. 3. The future of literature. The future of literature is uncertain, but it is likely to continue to evolve. 3. New technologies are emerging that will allow people to read and write literature in new ways. 3. These technologies will also make it easier for people to access literature from all over the world. Here are some of the ways in which literature has been used to impact society. 1. Education. Literature has been used to educate people about different cultures, historical periods, and scientific concepts. 1. For example, the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee teaches readers about the importance of equality and justice. 2. Entertainment. Literature has been used to entertain people for centuries. 2. For example, the plays of William Shakespeare are still performed today because they are both entertaining and thought-provoking. 3. Information. Literature has been used to inform people about current events and historical events. 3. For example, the book The Diary of Anne Frank by Anne Frank provides a first-hand account of the Holocaust. 4. Inspiration. Literature has been used to inspire people to make a difference in the world. 4. For example, the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley is an inspiration to people who are facing adversity. The impact of literature on culture is vast and complex. Literature has shaped the way we think about the world and the way we interact with each other. For example, the novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen helped to shape the way we think about gender roles in society. The future of literature is uncertain, but it is likely to continue to evolve. New technologies are emerging that will allow people to read and write literature in new ways. These technologies will also make it easier for people to access literature from all over the world. For example, the rise of e-books and audiobooks has made it easier for people to read literature on their devices. The future of literature is bright. As new technologies emerge, literature will continue to evolve and find new ways to reach people. Literature will continue to be a vital part of society, and it will continue to have a profound impact on culture. Thanks for watching.